thousands and thousands of hours of hard work lead to this moment.
Once again, the Mutineers, the teamwork is just exceptional right now.
There's the clearance from the Mutineers, and there's the win!
Congratulations, not only do you win your third home series, Mutineers have just taken over the COD League.
But on the flank, it's going to be Clayster. Hey, Clayster's going to get bumped. Four going to drop three. We have ourselves a new champ. It's the Dallas Empire with their second home series win. It's chaos.
Hello friends and welcome back from the break. We are here to bring you another incredible matchup coming your way. We got Dallas versus Florida, and I've got two incredible gentlemen joining me too. I've got Maven and I've got Merc, and we're here to talk about this this matchup we have seen many times so far in the league, 6 times now to be exact, with Dallas actually taking the edge of a 3-2 victory. We'll see who actually rounds this one out as we get into it. But gents, a big one for these two teams, two massive big dogs in the league facing each other. I think that's literally been the story so far this weekend. We've seen stacked teams going up against each other. Maven, what do you make of this matchup? Give me your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about how many times they've played, and you know, you look back a month ago, and it was owned by Mutineers, right? There were a lot of game fives, a lot of deep series, but they were hot and they were dominating it. But as of late, you look to last weekend, Empire 3-0. You look to the matchup this weekend, Mutineers seem to be in form again. They go up 2-0, they're dominating, and then Empire pull off the reverse sweep. So Empire have been hot, but I think Joe, from his experience as a pro player, can probably attest to the fact that it's difficult to beat a team 3 times in a row. And Joe, I think it's going to be tough for him.
Yeah, it obviously is. We talk about, you know, dealing with map vetoes. You lose a search and destroy, they're going to adjust their strategies. It's always a back and forth game. It's a bit of a tug of war battle, and I think we'll have another one here. Just looking at this, really the only difference that we're going to be seeing is the Gunrunner, which is a new map, but you have 4 of the same maps from yesterday's series. You know, teams are very comfortable on all of these, but they know how each other plays, right? They scrim versus each other. They've played 5 official matches, so these guys know all their tricks.
Absolutely. And speaking to Havoc, he said that it basically came down to this reverse sweep was due to lots of stupid mistakes that they were making. And hopefully they're not going to be doing that again. So maybe we have a really good match in store. We're going to head to our game fuel keys to victory for Dallas Empire to begin with. Walk me through this, Maven.
Clayster needs to step it up. You know, he was really mad at himself. You kind of saw his tweets after that series. He had to regain. He had an off series, and they need him to play well, and especially in a matchup like this where you're going against a team that has 3 strong ARs in the maps a lot of times. I just think he has to be on point, because I think when he's on point, it likely helps his comms, helps his leadership. I think there's a little bit of a dynamic between those two. It's just easier, I think, to be a positive force for your squad when you're playing well yourself. So looking for Clayster to rebound.
Absolutely. We'll have a look at the game fuel keys to victory for Florida Mutineers. Murky Merc, I'm coming over to you, pal. What have these guys got to do to clutch it up?
Yeah, I think Skies and Fro have been consistent throughout this. They have to keep that up. Similar to what Maven was just talking about Clay, you're looking at Skies to be that main AR, and it's up to the SMGs to match the aggression. Something that is just so difficult to deal with is the trio of Dallas Empire. When you talk about Illy, talk about Hook, you talk about Shotzi, those 3 in your face constantly, it is annoying. And you know, we talk about the main ARs, but if the subs are in their face, it's difficult to deal with. So you need guys like Havoc and Frosty to have a consistent series. They don't have to be the stars here. They have to play their role. They have to be those role players and win a couple of key one-on-ones that can set up Awakening. They can set up Skies.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I hope this is going to be a really good series ahead of us. We're going to head to predictions brought to you by Sony's Xperia smartphone. Maven, how are we dealing these cards today?
There was part of me that wanted to go Mutineers, but I just think I have to go Dallas. I went 3-2 to Dallas. You know, they won a 3-0 a week ago. They do the reverse sweep to begin this tournament. I think Dallas are in a better form right now. As long as they can rebound from what went down with FaZe, I think Dallas can take this.
Okay. Joe DeLuca.
I went with Dallas yesterday, and I was feeling it, but there's something, what we just talked about, how difficult it is to constantly beat the opponent over and over again. I went with Florida this time. I thought just based on what we saw today, Florida looks to be in a little bit better of a shape. So I'm going with Florida 3-1. I still think it's going to be a very close series. Wouldn't surprise me if Dallas won. We're talking about two of the top 4 teams in the world right here. But for this matchup, I'm going with Florida.
Okay, love it. I also went with Florida as well, Joe. I went 3-2. I just think that Florida right now are going to clean up all the mistakes that they left in that previous matchup with Dallas, and we're going to be seeing a little bit of a new team, a new storm is coming. So, gents, I've been told the match is ready to go, so may the spawns forever be in your favor.
Thank you very much, Lottie. Joe, I'm excited for this because we're rounding out the night. We have the 2 final matches to close this out. Yeah, we are. Yeah. We are absolutely on the night shift, but this is going to be interesting because I think we sort of talked through it with the keys to victory and other various points, but maybe you give the edge a bit in the AR department to Florida with how big those 3 have been statistically. But on the other side, you give the edge from an SNG standpoint to Empire. And that tug of war, that battle between your strengths of these 2 squads, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
No, it absolutely is. And I mean, listen, Havoc and Frosty, probably 2 of the more underrated players throughout this year, right? When you talk about how good they've been, consistent they've been, when you talk about Florida being able to win multiple home series, it's not easy to do. And yeah, we gas up their stars a lot, but Havoc and Frosty set those guys up. And to me, that's just what it is. They have to at least, trade with those guys so they can get their AR set up. And I think they absolutely have the ability to do so.
Well, you talked about the fact that we're going to be going to it's 4 of the 5 same maps compared to what we just did earlier in this event. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout. But the kills at least early going to Empire. Now Frosty doing his best to answer back. Nice little snap onto the head of Crim6 to get things rolling. As Awakening gets shut down as well, and look at that kill feed. All Empire, they've got spawns, they've got the hard point. Mutineers spawning out deep, about everything you could ask for in the opening to this game.
Yeah, and if you missed the match yesterday, the first 2 maps were very much Florida, and they won this one 250 to 127. Dallas made a couple of key mistakes. Florida took advantage of it. It was very much looking like Florida was going to run away with the series, but the reverse sweep happens. But it seems to be a stronger start so far for Dallas. They're able to flip those spawns. You have Clayster who's rotating. Him and Crim are able to lock down the right side of the map when they rotate over towards Depot, and they're going to find early time. And with 10 seconds left, Florida right now just trying to fight for mid-map control.
And you can see that number 8 and Clay tucked away all the way towards like the minecart push through. They've got a big emphasis on the top side of the map. There's really just one player there to deal with. It's going to be Havoc. They're able to find that. Nobody else pushing for top, so they're going to have to rally back to get in the actions. The rest of the pressure coming in from the front. Nades everywhere, but Sky's somehow able to stay up. Now Awakening's gotten into an aggressive position towards the point, waiting for his teammates to now work the collapse. He's trying to fight for the spawns in the back, but 2 players there ready and waiting. It's Crim and Clay combining to take him down.
Yeah, but the pressure is still here. Skies, Feral, Frosty, they all win their individual one-on-ones. Frosty with another one. Frosty with 3. And while he's going to push his team through, they're going to go to that break. I think Havoc was 0-6. Had a bit of a slow start, maybe just getting punished. I'll spawn constantly with Shotzi, who's 10-5. One of our MVP candidates on the year, going up against another one in Skies, who's on a 7 spear right now. But Florida, they're going to get the final 20 seconds or so. Dallas, though, we're going to try and rotate on over, but look at number 1. That's Awakening. He snuck his way through. And I do not think Clay is going to be ready for this because you see Ellie's position at crates.
Well, we'll hop to them for a second, then try to get back to the Sky streak once he gets closer to the action. I think Sky's just got another kill, so his streak going to be up to 9. Awakening still looking for an opening as Sky's is trying to pinch from the other side. The collapse now coming in. Awakening is going to get shut down, but now comes the rest of the players. How far can this streak go for Skies? Well, it's not going to be far because look at Illy. 3 go down. Frosty, Havoc, Skies all fall victim to Illy. Great individual moment there from him to keep the hard point locked down.
It just keeps the pressure off of it. It allows Hoot to get set up inside of vents. He's just flanking pipes over and over again. The teamwork is on point right now on this hill for Dallas. Illy is going to get taken down, but they should find this final time. It looks like you're going to have one more player going for some scrap time. And it's going to be Skies. Actually, it's going to be, it looks to be a 3-man push. And I think they just want this position to try and cut off the spawns for Dallas when you're pushing shipping crates. Because we're going to rotate on over. Shotzi, though, is going to be the first man there. because they went for that push, but Awakening was ready for it.
89-47, the scoreline now is Awakening. Trying to get some shots in through the smoke, but his shots don't connect, and Illy soars on through. Number 4 in the map, and Pharaoh is trying to push around. Maybe see if he can do some damage to that back line and spawn side of Dallas Empire. Pharaoh's in this position, but it gets picked up. Shotzzy able to shut him down, so no pressure there on the spawns for Empire now. Mutineers, though, you'd love to get the remainder of this time, at least, if you're not going to be able to get through on those spawns. It's a big kill from Frosty inside of green. Maybe the next person up. To at least keep pressure off the hard point, or make it a little bit messy towards this side of the map. But right before the smoke pops, like Illy gets eyes on him, he's able to take him out. Havoc with a ludicrous kill there with the MP5.
Player's got to be weak.
Yeah, I would hope so. Otherwise, just like 3 quick headshots. I don't know. He died so fast.
This is a key hill. When you look at the Atlanta versus Dallas match today in map 1, it was very back and forth. And Dallas had an opportunity in the first rotation to really run away with the game. But it was this setup. They have to be able to hold this warehouse a little bit better. Atlanta just broke it a couple of times, just a little bit too easy. But Illy and Hook, they're going to find 3 kills. That should slow things down. This should be one of the hills where you're picking up a majority of the time. That's why you're fighting for those spawns, you know, a hill earlier. And if they're not going to be able to do so, it's going to be tough to win it.
Yeah, and I think there was an Empire player up towards minecarts as well. So the spawn from Mutineers came out so deep. They can't get back in till 30 seconds to go. And Shotzzy getting it done with everything. Finally going to drop. Shotzzy goes on a 5 spree over the course of that hard point. He's out to 20 and 10, leading all players in this map. Mutineers will look to get what remaining scrap time they can. They'll get that time. They also have the spawns on the other side of the map as Frosty won a nice one-on-one.
Dallas has to go. Florida's setting this up perfectly. They're setting this up. Not only are they getting the scrap time, they're setting up for the second hill. And just like that, 4 go down for Dallas. You see where they're spawning? That was beautifully done. To win on both sides of the map is difficult to do. You see 2 3 sprees. I think it was, what, like 8 9 kills in a row right now for Florida. Before Havoc got taken down, but Pharaoh staying alive pipe side, and just great teamwork out of Florida, but still down 30 points.
That was one of the cleaner transitions we've seen to set up from warehouse then to depot. That was super impressive. And now after this hard point, once we get through depot next time, you might have a lead change. Not going to quite be able to do it here, but the fact they're getting the time on this point as well, this sequence has just been nuts. But they need to pick up the top side of the map. It's Clay that I think is trying to push on through. It's Havoc that's going to have it lined up, and Havoc is able to get the kill. We'll focus back on the action inside and around the point. But now you're only down 20. You were trailing by about 50 points, but you're also set up for depot. Just truly special stuff out of Mutineers. They're set up to take the lead here.
And Havoc's in a ton of intel. He's able to find one. They hurt a couple of players behind him. This is the way Dallas likes to break it. It's a lot from the top side of the map. Havoc's going to spawn right back up. Going to have some players to deal with. Frosty's going to take one down, but it's a split push. It's 2 towards the top side. It's 3 down low. Shotzzy inside. His insane game continues. Up to 24 kills on this map, and they're able to break on through.
Well,
but Awakening and Havoc are right back here. It's just going to be back and forth affair.
Yeah, but all that time we gassed up the great transition from Mutineers, at least for Empire. You were able to break in and disrupt so much of this time early. So there will be no lead change. Incredible stuff from Empire to get back in. And yeah, they just sort of shut down everything we were setting up, Joe.
Yeah, it happens. You know, you're like, all right, they did the spawns. You know, they got the hard part done. Now it's just about winning a couple of key gunfights when you have position. But the push was just a little too strong. And I think maybe you're just hoping for Havoc to maybe find one more kill when he's that far pushed out. But nobody is watching behind him. And now towards this transition over to Minecart Crim, they are spawning behind you. I was just say, Illy should be giving him the call soon. Now he's got the heads up. Hooks will be pushing mid-wall. Well, if they're able to get majority of this time, Dallas will be very close from winning map 1.
They're definitely getting close, but it's not quite over yet. Mutineers still capable of making this run. Look at number 1 working all the way around the flank. That's going to be Awakening, trying to get in behind enemy lines, and he's going to do just that. He's going to cut off the reinforcements that were trying to push the point. Awakening makes the play to alleviate the pressure from the rail side of the map. Beautifully done from him, and Awakening's tear continues. 24 and 19, doing it at the M4, doing it at the MP5, now on 5 in a row. We'll see how far he can push out this stretch as he looks to get towards the next hard point. He's got 3 players here he's going to have to deal with, but I think he was just trying to get Trophy out. He didn't spot anyone. He gets caught as soon as he goes for it. The timing a bit unfortunate there for sure.
Yeah, and now this is tough for Florida. I like this position that Pharaoh's in middle of the tracks, but they're in a spot where you can't give up a lot of time here, because if you give up a lot of time, even if you do great at warehouse, you're going to have to do 2 things at once on that next rotation. You're going to have to try and keep Dallas off of that middle hill. You're going to try and have to get to that point, win the rotation over to Depot, but you can see how much pressure. We don't see this all the time. Usually we see teams play pretty darn safe around warehouse. You know, maybe send a couple of players, but they know they can't allow Dallas to get up towards that 220 mark.
Well, if they're going to play that way, they've got to make sure they've got all gaps filled. No one able to sneak on through. They got in for a bit of a contest, earned a little bit of time themselves, but Empire going to get right around the 215 mark. Now look at this setup from Mutineers. Pushed out all the way minecart side, now wrapping back in towards Vents will be Frosty as he looks to maybe kind of cut this push in half from mid-map. Awakening, though, with the first pick. Frosty will get caught mid-map. Awakening trying to go huge, but he's going to drop as well. Multiple players dropping. One going to spawn out now for Mutineers. Empire once again going to swarm. Empire have the numbers, at least for now. Pharaoh's going to have to go absolutely massive inside of the point. They need this time, and they need it desperately. He's got Dead Silence pop and should be able to finesse around the boxes for quite some time. Keep resetting this. 2 are going to line up for him. 5 in a row for Pharaoh as he's making the play, but there are still players here from Empire. Finally, you clear them out. You'll get to right around 200 points for Mutineers if you're able to hold the rest of this time. It wasn't perfect, but I think they did a good enough job to stay in this game.
Well, they did a good enough job in basically a 3 versus 4 situation, because you had Clay who was basically spawn killing 2 of the members, but he ends up spawning them top minecarts. They're able to reinforce a little bit quicker than Dallas Empire, but now back towards the middle platform. This is what I was talking about. They cannot give up a ton of time, and you see Dallas, they have the spawns for Depot. But last time around, Florida, they were able to do it so well while getting the scrap time, but already up to 230.
Yeah.
They've given up 15 seconds.
I think those 3 straight kills right around the points that popped is likely what's going to end up ending it. You had the early pressure there from Mutineers, but you just drop them. Shotzzy, a bomb on the map. We'll see if he can get to 40, but he's probably just not going to have enough time to do it. He might now, as Mutineers extend their life just a bit by fighting him.
40!
There's the 40. Shotzzy able to do it. Helped out a bit by Mutineers breaking in. But now, how do you keep them off this, and how do you push through? 1 point away is Empire from taking the map 1. Shotzzy now up to 41.
I mean, they gotta go. I mean, I don't even know if they have time to get across. Yeah, they won't be able to.
They try to sprint, just can't get there quickly enough. 250 to 211 the score line as Empire take the map 1. Certainly better than the last series where they kind of got blown out map 1 and 2. Here, guns hot a little bit earlier. And what a map it is out of Shotzzy. You see there why he's one of our Astro MVP finalists. Just a monster performance at 41 and 28. Illy, the other youngster on this squad, puts up 33 there with him, and that's what you were kind of worried about, that the monsters you have at the positions of pace for Empire, and you saw it. They made a statement.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to match those guys. I mean, listen, they're one of the best teams in the world for a reason, and the power really does come behind their submachine gun players, and we just saw why in a map like Gunrunner. You know, your team has to be on point. And there was a couple of opportunities I think Florida could probably go back and look at. So we had an opportunity here at Depot, you know, the one we gassed up, second rotation, if they held that a little bit better. But it was close. But, I mean, it's just kind of wild because you talk about Havoc. He finished 26 and 38. All the kills that happened from Illy, from Shotzzy, and somehow Skies only dies 18 times. Still 30 and 18, great for Skies, but it's just like crazy how he's only died that much when the other guys are putting up 70, 80 kills.
Yeah, I mean, he plays that kind of bait, like rolling away. I mean, you're looking over your aggressive players, and when they're dying a lot and struggling, you're going to get some kills. I mean, that's just going to happen, right? You're going to be cleaning up weak players. That's just sort of how it plays out. But this is going to be the quick scope presented by U.S. Air Force, where these two teams match up. And this is where they've been throughout the course of the year. I'm just trying to figure out, just how many deep series Mutineers must have had to play that many more search and destroys. That can't be right, right?
60 search and destroys?
That can't be right. Yeah, because no, that can't be right. The search one must have been off. Is it even possible for them to play that many more search and destroys? It might be.
If they've had that many game 5s, yeah. Maybe. I really have no idea. But it's on the graphic, Clint, so we're going to talk about it.
That's the only way I looked at it. I'm like, that doesn't look right to me, but... Yeah, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. 40 and 22.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of search and destroys. But yeah, taking a look here at the map set again. Every map is the same besides this second one coming up. S&D Gunrunner, Dallas 10-5, Florida 4-7. So you got to be feeling pretty good. The match they played yesterday was Petrograd. That was a game 5. We do go to an Arcloth Peak. That was when Florida was able to win 6-1, but we have to get to that game 5 first.
That can't be right. Just thinking about all the times we talked about Florida's respawn being good, how their search was weak. Dude, look at their searches in here. 4-7 in Gunrunner, 4-7 in Arcloth. Where are their 40 wins coming from? I don't believe that one, Joe, but whatever. We'll move on. We'll move past it as we look to the search. We're going to check out the rosters real quick in case you're a new viewer not familiar with these guys. It is filled with young talent and veterans alike, especially for Empire. They've definitely got the widest gap in age. You would think of players, an 18-year-old, a 28-year-old. It's all over the map, Clay. We love you, but he's almost as old as I am. But he's still getting it done, still making the plays, and excited to see if he can rebound from one of his, I think he said one of his worst series he's had so far in this title. He really struggled against FaZe. There, though, he goes 25 and 23 in the map 1. Does a good job in tandem with his SMG players. As we now look at the lineup for the Mutineers.
Yeah, it's not like he has. Again, I think when we talked about this series, it was Skies who really owned it at like a 1.5, because I've been talking about it quite a bit because they've been matching up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And on the bottom end of it was Clay at like a 0.88, I want to say. But for him to have an off series earlier today, to go 25 and 23, to have 90 seconds in the hill, that's all you got to do when you got shots in Illy, putting up a bunch of kills.
All right, we're going to take a look at our updated quickscope presented by U.S. Air Force, and I imagine the update is going to be the S&D for Mutineers. There we go. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Right.
It's like 60 searches. Wow. All right, so that's what there'll be, and that makes more sense because that was the one game of for Mutineers where we talked a lot throughout the year they needed to improve because they were very good at hardpoint. They were good. They were really good in dom at stretches. The search just needed to get better, and the search has gotten better, just not 40 wins better.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, yeah, you're right, because we did talk about Florida really being a great respawn team. I was like, 60 searches. I was like, I don't know, dude. Time is like, I was like, man, maybe I blacked out at some point. I have no idea. I was like, have we casted that many games? I don't know, this year.
They haven't lost a tournament if that's their stats.
Yeah, I got no idea what's going on.
They've won every single tournament. But now you see the search stats for this map. 10-5 for Dallas, 4-7 for Florida, as you talked about. Dallas going to be a tough team to beat here. Mutineers already up against it after the map 1 loss. We'll see what they can do on offense off the break. One of the few maps in the kind of history of Call of Duty where you favor the offense.
A lot of eyes on Hook yesterday. I think he's had multiple search and destroys where he's had double digits in really important games. He was a beast yesterday in game 5 and he's really worked on his search and destroy. I think with adding Illy and Shotzi on the team, these three play a lot of search together, and it is absolutely paying off. Hook has been a nuke to deal with, and this is one of his better maps. They're going to have a 3 versus 2 man advantage. Skies and Pharaoh trying to work something, but Crim, he's locking down middle of the map with the M4. That's going to be bombed down now, all down to Skies.
Hook knows his position. There's the Chow. The team shot comes in, and Empire take the round 1. Solid start after a solid finish to the map 1. And that's... You just gotta wonder if it's gonna be plaguing Mutineers a little bit because you heard Lottie kind of say they were talking about the fact that it was little mistakes that hurt them, and I think you and I would agree that is pretty much the definition of the map 1, right? A couple minor mistakes, and that is what costs you.
Well, and that's
is that in your head now a little bit going into search?
I don't think you would hope so. I think my just sort of worry is they didn't want to play St. Petro again because they lost that in game 5 yesterday. I just, you know, the vetoes. You're putting Dallas on one of their better search and destroy maps is the one thing I'm kind of worried about. But in terms of that, I feel like between the best teams in the world, that's all it really does come down to is who makes the less mistakes, right? I mean, that's always been the story.
Yep. Certainly the case, but 4v4 now, not any longer. Is Shotzzy able to find another one? Low side of bathrooms. Now, can they work to get this bomb planted? He's going to go for it now. Frosty, I think, was thinking about pushing on the flank, but he's going to get sniffed out by Illy. Still numbers to Empire on Awakening and Pharaoh now to try and clutch up. And Shotzzy is playing a safe position, trying to get eyes on the cross, and, well, it's going to pay off. Because now he should be able to peek out and get the kill, but no, Awakening somehow gets another, and Crim can't hit him. He gets away with his life. They're looking to clutch the 2 versus 3. Crim is started. Crim is down. Awakening goes bananas to get all 3. And like that POV change threw me off so much because I'm like, oh, Shotzi's got this. Like, Shotzi's got the kill. Do we swap over to Awakening? I'm like, how do you just kill him? That was unbelievable from Awakening.
I mean, there has been like, I don't know, this guy, his awareness at times is just, it really is unreal. It just feels like he reads situations so clear. And props to him. It just feels like every single map he's doing something spectacular, and there's another moment of it.
And he likely heard Shotzzy didn't have Daddy Pop, so he heard him stopping around.
Sure.
But still, like it just looked like one of those situations where you're thinking Shotzi's got a free trade, but not going to be the case. Then Crim, I thought, could finish him, but he missed a couple bullets when he was weak. Unbelievable. But Awakening now out to 5-1. The monster play and the monster clutch in the 2 versus 3 will tie him up, but it's a first blood again for Empire. As Clayster finds the opening on the Frosty.
Crim with another pick. That's going to be Pharaoh. Bomb down. Illy just playing that little cracking between the crates. Just there for the trade. You see the defense from Dallas very B heavy. I mean, you have nobody at A. And what was the thing that hurt them earlier today against Atlanta? It was the flank over and over and over again. And I'm thinking they're making sure that doesn't happen to them. And yeah, Clay's watching it.
And a couple players watching it. Really, no one was getting through that flank, and it is a very clean and concise defensive round at Empire.
No, yeah, Priest, I think, had like 8 or 9 or 10 kills just through the flank on offense over and over again until Clay like basically played on an island by himself and watched it. So yeah, just trying to make some adjustments. And what is that adjustment? Okay, let's just all play together. This way, if they cross to A, we can retake it as a team. If they go to B, we are all here. We can get those trades.
I'm just trying to think of like the last 5 times you and I have casted this. I don't think I've seen an A plant.
Well, there was some earlier. Maybe not with us.
With us. Yeah. Like when you and I have been casting, like we barely seen any. I mean, we were laughing at on Petro too. Like we didn't see anything like going on except it was A over and over again last night. That was so funny. But a big round here as Empire are up 2-1. Awakening will find the first blood. Havoc now tucked away in a corner by the half wall, just waiting, trying to play the sound as well as he hears him pushing. Awakening gets another kill, but Shotzi's going to get the bomb planted. Shotzi tries to get through, nearly able to take down another, but Awakening with 3 in the round again. Suddenly it's just Crim.
Yeah, and that's what Dallas was doing versus Atlanta earlier, was getting Shotzi to plant that bomb, but hold on. Crim trying to stay alive, but there's just too many of them. But you see where they plant it. They plant it on the left side of this bomb. And what this does is this sets up, okay, you can jump over mid-wall. You can see it through green. You can see it through pipes. It makes it so difficult to actually defuse the bomb. But what is the risk is if you don't have mid-map control, any player from Florida while planting can peek the eye and take him down. So it's a very calculated risk. Shotzi, he pops dead silence to do it. But we saw it versus Atlanta earlier. They try to do it almost every offense.
And you saw that awkward situation for Clay. Remember, he was trying to kill the bomb planter, but like the pipe was in the way. He couldn't quite finish the kill. Definitely gets a little bit easier when it's on that side. 8-3 now for Awakening, as he's got 8 of his team's 12 kills. That's 66.6 repeating for the mathematicians out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's see. Mutineers can find the opening. Playing it slow for now. 30 seconds already melted off the clock, but it's Awakening looking for the entries. He's been on fire this game. You got to rely on him to make the play. He's got Dead Silence pop. Can he get the snap? He doesn't get the entry kill. He might be a little bit of trouble. He will fall. Illy able to put him down with a pistol. Illy, though, just trying to hide, but the jump shot from Pharaoh able to get it done. His teams exchange those pistol kills. Now the M4 gets picked up, and I thought Pharaoh was dead to rights, but he comes out of it. 2 versus 2. Make it a 2 versus 1. Now on Skies to try and clutch, and what a one-on-one win that is. But Hook is there for the trade again, as Hook the Nuke goes big for Empire.
Ooh, if I'm clipping that one. What in the world? I think I hit fire bullet.
Hit fire bullet and headshots.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He blew up. But
yeah.
You saw what Shotzi was doing. And when you're playing inside of that position, inside the crates, it's just to stop the bomb planter. You're going to try and get away with your life, but it's rare to do so. What's probably end up happening is there's somebody rocked. There's somebody watching over him that's going to get that trade. That happens. But that slows down the push. And then someone else has to rotate up from floor to try to get the bomb down. All the trades going on, and we talked about Dallas. They're tight setup. They had 2-3 inside a bathroom. The trades were there. Hook goes big again.
Now Shotzi may have the opening. He does. First blood to Empire. Havoc's gonna drop. Hook follows it up. Shotzi tucked away, gets another as Shotzi locks down Green. The aggressive play from Mutineers not gonna pay off remotely. Pharaoh already by himself. There's barely been 20 seconds off the clock. Good luck. Yeah, that's just a situation like, go ahead, just kill me. We want offense. I'm not going to be able to do anything. No point in getting kills.
Well, Florida, they just try to hit middle of the map. They try to get some aggression going and to match it. And of course, they were there. Havoc and Frosty, they have an opportunity to find the kills, but Shotzi just hangs out. Prone's back in the same corner. The trade wasn't there.
A huge round for Mutineers now. His Empire now 2 away from the 2-0 edge. And the first action we've seen towards A. Sun out, Simtex out, nothing in the deep pocket. Awakening tried to hit the cross, and there was no one there defensively for Empire. One trying to wrap back, one going all the way to mine carts. The number 2 in Skies is between multiple players. Empire kind of all over the map. Skies not able to get the kill. Shotzi with a nasty drop shot. Shotzi takes down 2. Shotzi making plays in every mode. It doesn't matter, but hold your horses, because Shotzi did it, and then Mutineers slapped the rest of the team. All to Shotzi. 1 versus 3 for the ace, but just so little time to go, and Shotzi will drop. It went from looking good in a 5 versus 3 to the table being flipped completely over as Mutineers go huge.
Yeah, I mean, everything was great. You had Shotzi coming up the middle of the map. You had someone who playing through all the way towards train tracks, towards the staircase. It almost just felt like they were a little... Obviously, you're very spread out, but there was just no trades that came in. I mean, Awakening finds 3 kills, and maybe that's due to the spread that they were in, where they weren't able to find those final couple, but it's Awakening. On one side is Shotzi. This time it's Awakening finds 3 up to 11.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 3 rounds with 3 kills. 9 of his 11 have come in 3 out of 7 rounds. Shotzi dominated from this spot last time. Mutineers not going to be nearly as aggressive as they don't want to run into the brick wall that is Shotzi.
Can't blame him. Can't say I blame him.
Yeah, not the way he's playing right now. But now it's Shotzi's turn to move. Is nobody aggressive from Mutineers? What kind of position can he get into? Wants to work the plant. The pick comes in through Awakening, trying to catch the planter as well. He's right on the other side. There's his foot. You saw his foot?
Nah, he didn't. We saw it. I don't think he did.
Yeah.
But that Shotzi, he's able to stay alive too. He's able to slide down. He has a smoke for himself. And once again, they set up that plant so you can check it for pipes. So watch out for Hook. Hook's trying to really, he's really the key playmaker here. Clay's going to get taken down. You would love, was it Illy and Clay, maybe to find a couple more kills, because this is what you're setting up for him to try to check this bomb. But all the smokes are down. Florida were ready for it. A nice retake from them.
Yeah, I thought it looked so good once Awakening got that kill, and I thought he was going to catch the planter as well. Once Shotzi was able to get the plan and get away, I thought it bode pretty well for Empire, but they can't close out the round. It's now 2 in a row for Mutineers to tie us up at 4-4. Final look at the final kill from Havoc. Easy one as Hook is just desperately trying to check bomb.
Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, that's Shotzi's job, is to maybe patrol middle map and find a kill, but he's setting up his team there. He's a sacrificial lamb, and he needs his guys to stay up, and that time they just don't.
Mutineers, can they get 3 in a row? Look how aggressive Hook is currently. He's pushed all the way up Forest. But it's Pharaoh from distance that's able to hit the shot. Crim gonna get picked and probably upset about that one. The nade didn't hit, so he thinks it might be clear. He's just barely able to stay alive with the Simtex finish the kill. Not gonna happen. The nade's coming over the top, and Hook's gonna drop. What a sequence that was. 5v3 now for Mutineers. Pharaoh doing it all, the pistol out and hitting once again. And he just wants to fly at him. Billy tries to get the peek, not able to do it. The AR's on point. 3 in a row now for Mutineers. 1 round away from tying up our series at 1-1.
Well, that's what, 3 rounds in a row out of Florida. And I mean, poor Havoc, we were on board with him. He's setting himself up on a flank the entire time, but Pharaoh does it himself. He opens up the bomb set. He finds that first blood with a cheeky angle. Nice round for him, and that's what's so difficult with sometimes with Pharaoh. It's just he can kind of do it all. We've seen him use basically any weapon in Search, and sometimes you just aren't ready for a snipe.
But still leading the way. It's Awakening at 14-6.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's put the squad on his back in many of these rounds. Empire need a win here to get us to the round 11. Hook gonna watch over him as Shotzi looks to get this bomb planted. Look at that number 5 in Havoc, who's right on the opposite side of it. He's gonna look to pounce, see if he can catch one. Not able to do it, and he's gonna drop. What a massive moment that is for Empire. But Awakening's turn. Now he gets involved in the action. Awakening and Pharaoh both able to find kills. 4 versus 3 suddenly.
Wow.
Crim6 goes massive. Now it's just Skies in a 1 versus 2. And he has to work the defuse with 20 seconds to go. Shots coming in from the Empire spawn. He's gonna have to be
look
straight
at all the
beams.
angles he has to look at, man. That is the power of plenty and on that side. And you saw it, Hook just watching over his teammate, and the fact that Shotzi stays alive. First you have Hook watching over him, then when they both try to get out and go front bathroom, it's Illy who peeks out of pipes. He's able to take down that player. Beautiful teamwork. It does get a little bit scary. Crim swings the round back in their favor.
Think about how different that is if like Havoc gets a clean kill and backs away with his life. Round goes completely differently, but man, there have been a couple wild moments in this one for sure. Now round 11, 15-7 now for Awakening, as they're going to be on offense for this final crucial
see that
round.
Right there. 1-6 for Dallas, 5-4 for Florida. We'll see if Dallas can get their second round 11 win on the board. A little bit different defense than what we've been seeing. They're kind of thinking they're going to go towards A. You have 1 player inside a vent. You have 2 on their tracks right now. If this was a normal B hit out of Florida, the bomb would be down. But it's almost like they're calling this correctly. Both teams just sort of at a standstill.
Now the bomb's going to wrap back. They're heading over towards B. You still have a big presence here from Empire. Shotzi's going to catch one, and that was Deddy push, I believe, from Pharaoh up mid-map. The timing works out for Shotzi. There's the first blood. Now going to be so much more difficult to get this bomb planted. With 30 seconds left, the smokes are out, and they're going to go for it. Now Shotzi getting hit a dead silence of his own. Can he find an opening as he pushes through?
They're looking for Havoc. They're trying to find Havoc. Havoc might make the play. Watch number 5 on the minimap. He set this up last round. It didn't work out. He's going to be behind 1, and poor Clay gets shot in the back again on the flank. Here comes the push, though, through crates. Awakening trying to play his life. Does get taken down. Hook again goes big.
It's going to come down to a 2 versus 1. It's all on Havoc, and Shotzi has got the angle. Shotzi, once again, can make the play to close it out. A massive map 1, a big map 2, and Empire get their second round 11 victory of the year to go up 2-0. And this is the opposite of what we saw the last time they played. Mutineers out to an early 2-0 edge. Empire has to make the reverse sweep happen. Now it's on Mutineers to try and do the same, but what a round 11 it was, and I think you see how frustrated Havoc is. Just he knows he had a chance to make the play, but it was Shotzi in the end.
Yeah, I didn't see if he had dead silence at that point. Like, it's tough because, of course, when there's someone right in front of you, like, you want to go for the kill, but I almost wonder, like, if he just lets Clay go. If he has dead silence, maybe he can flank all the way through crates, but then it's at that point where will he just be a couple of seconds too late to try to make that play? So I think he's just trying to get his team numbers. But at that point, they know someone's on the flank, and they just fly. I mean, you saw the smokes that Shotzi and Hook flew through.
Well, I think we're going to use the U.S. Army tactical play to watch the round 11. Maybe we'll get back to that part, because I remember the meter was like a tiny bit short when I glanced at it. I just can't remember if he had it popped or if it was like a second from finishing. I don't remember. So maybe if we are back far enough, we can check to see if he had it, because that'll be interesting to see if that could have been a difference maker for sure. But a great map from Awakening, simply not enough. You get double digits out of Pharaoh as well, who had his highlight moments. Shotzi, though, puts up 10. But now let's take a look at our U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be the round 11. Now let's see how far back this takes us. So we should see it here. Okay, so this is good. This is good. It's right after the first blood from Shotzi. And I remember the meter so close for Havoc.
And I guess because they're down a man, he's probably thinking I have to force a 4v4. Again, it's a very, in a way, like, if he doesn't kill a play, it's just selfish play, because he's basically just trying to set his teammates up. So right after that, he gets it. He didn't have it. He didn't have it. And his teammates do the right thing. You see they try to push through and maybe just try to help him out. But Illy and Hook, they were in bathrooms. Their teamwork around this area just so strong. And that's what makes Gunrunner Search and Destroy so good for Dallas.
That's what that makes sense, because I remember it was really close or something, but yeah, it's after the kill, so that's why you can't try to make that sneaky play. But Empire, they go big. They're able to get it done. They're up 2-0 in the series, looking to close this out in 3-0 fashion like they were able to do a week ago. Empire, for the most part, pretty mistake-free. They're clutching up. They're closing the gaps. They're making the plays when they need to, but now all the pressure to Mutineers. Can they bring it back? Can they run the reverse sweep? We'll see after this quick break.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Stay connected to what matters most with the best value in wireless.
Welcome back. I know a lot of you have been loving the Warzone weekend content we've been doing. It's presented by Metro by T-Mobile, and we've got one more coming up. It's going to be quads dropping into Verdansk. We've had some insane and hilarious moments over the course of this year. I think it's been one of the better content pieces we have done, and Joe, I can't wait to see the final one.
Yeah, it's always a ton of fun, right? I mean, from Paris camping the house to a W to C4 thrown out of the helicopter, just so many great moments. I know we just love listening to the player comms during those, man. Just hearing what they're going through is always a ton of fun.
Yeah, no, that's a blast. Like when we're commentating those, just listening to all the absurd moments they have. Their calls are amazing. To my understanding, we're going to be checking out some other comms from the idiots on the broadcast town, including myself.
That's us.
This is going to be the Astro Gaming caster comms. Let's take a look. Where are you looking? Where are you looking? We got monitors everywhere. I got stats over here, videos over there, gameplay here. We're doing it all.
Seeing a very, very different look going in the semi-finals tomorrow.
Excuse my dog in the background. He's a big fan of both of these teams. Yeah, he's very excited for this rematch.
I'm gonna have to quote Clint Maven Evans. I don't even remember what I told the producers. I'm gonna say
Dashy and I have something special. I'm Bald Dashy. He's Dashy. There's a connection there, and I have to agree with whatever he says. That is my walking duo. We've been dominating in Verdansk as of late. Oh my God, I didn't have audio on that, Joe, but I did just see the final image where they made Dashy bald.
Bald. Yeah, Bald Dashy. That's you.
Oh my God.
Duo.
That was actually kind of incredible. And I didn't hear the stupid things we said, but I'm sure they were idiotic. But we love you. And we're excited to continue on in this series. But Joe, do Mutineers have what it takes? I know they've been guilty of getting reverse swept recently. What happened with Ravens, it happened with Empire. Now, can they pull off one themselves?
I think so. I think you look at some of the maps coming up. What we're going to Hackney Yard domination. Dallas 13-3. Very good. But the last time these two teams went up just the other day, very close, 5-point game. After that, you have Ramaza hard point where Florida is solid. So yes, there is absolutely an opportunity, and I think Dallas fans are just thinking, let's get this one done with. Don't give them any momentum.
We'll see if they can close it out. Empire going to be starting from the strong side at A. See how much time they can rack up or how much control they can assert early in it. Illy, well, we'll get off of him. He's going to be wrapping back to lock down the home cap. Hook's going to go top AC, see what he can find. But it's a mid-map hit and flank for a lot of the Florida members. Now needs to get picked up, and Hook's able to do just that. Awakening, though, does get in behind enemy lines. It's Frosty there as well to pick up the kill. All the way over to C, though. It's going to be Shotzi, who's already trying to work that neutral. Now, what do you do if you're Mutineers?
They're going to go. It looks like they're going to try and get B, and then from there go towards A. They know they have a 3 versus 5 if they want to push on through. This is where you need guys like Krim and Clay to find kills with the assault rifle and stop this push down. Awakening, though, he's going to take down Krim. You see everybody starts to rotate back for Dallas, but that is 3 dead, and that means it's time to fly. They find the 4th as Have finds his 2nd kill. Shotzi knows he's in a tough spot, and, well, that is perfect for Florida.
Florida push through. They get the flips. Now Empire starting on the strong side. They enjoy it for not even a minute of gameplay. It's got to be stressful to be put in this position that early on. I want to hear the comms from Empire. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Dallas Empire.
What the fuck? I'm one shot. Top AC.
In top gas.
So weak, dude.
Top AC dead.
Nice.
Come on their door, I think.
Yo,
cap this shit.
And we need to cap shield behind us. We need to cap shield.
Oh,
yeah.
P1
Wait,
behind
top
us.
AC, top AC.
Right,
Wait.
tough,
Try to get by the.
Yeah, play your life.
Yeah, play
Alright,
life.
hold top L. I spawn green,
Yeah,
I spawn
we're good.
green. They're spawning on you lot or take it.
Top L, door. Can I see? One shot.
You see the door.
Top L. He's probably going middle.
In their door.
One's middle. One's
on me
close
P2,
middle.
on me back A wall.
I'm holding
Yeah, they know I'm top green. They might hit me green.
I'm holding middle.
Take your time. We're working
Okay,
on
well, let's start
Top
working
AC,
mid.
top AC
Yeah.
dead.
Alright, we gotta get this back.
One's still L. Somewhere. He's gonna be middle.
Half barrel, weak barrel, their door.
I'm dead.
I'm there.
That's
We're
why
dead. We're
fine.
fine. You're on C. You're on C.
They have us trapped. Wrap back to C, guys.
They're gonna be here.
Grab back.
Yeah, one to be rocking across. Charging it.
Holding cross, go.
Yo, green half ball.
Nice.
I needed it.
Alright, yo, let's go. Turn up.
Alright, yeah. We all need to start winning gunning.
Yeah, let's go.
We're going L together. We're gonna break this. We're gonna 3 cap them. Let's go.
Top L, left side.
Let's go. I got him.
Yo, top AC. Top AC.
Go.
I'm gonna bottom out. I'm gonna
Top
bottom out
AC.
quick.
Top AC laying down, I'm pretty sure.
Yo,
Let's
green
go.
on me, P1. Beat on, right side, beat on me, P1.
He's on the barrel. He's on the barrel.
No, top half.
1P1.
One's on the barrel. Wait, watch out, Clay.
One shot.
I got the barrel.
Green guy's gonna
Almost
pinch
P1.
her,
Yeah, he's
top
gonna
out.
go C. He's
Stop
gonna
up,
go
stop up,
C.
let's go.
Yo, alright, I'm backing up to
I think,
C. Oh, he's
Oh,
green
yeah,
half, awakening.
half ball jump, half
Awakening,
ball.
one bullet.
They're on C, guys.
I
They're on
got
C,
Frosty,
guys.
one's mid.
Well, they're getting smoked, Joe, but you got to love the one call from Clay in the midst of just getting dominated. He's like, let's get together. We got this. Let's win gunfights, push L together, and 3 cap them. So he's trying to gas him up. Unfortunately, all the gas in the tank currently with the Mutineers, but now Empire, maybe a chance to strike.
It's every single time. I mean, I love the aggression, but we saw it on Dallas, dude. Anytime someone goes from C, that A defense weakens up, and what happens? I mean, Dallas is gonna, or sorry, Florida is gonna be happy. They have a 35-point lead already. They started on bad side, but here comes that 3-cap right now opportunity for Clay, and this is a shot for them to get back into the game. Who is it on the other side of the map? Can Hoot go big? Doesn't look like it. But maybe these last 90 minutes, or sorry, 90 seconds or so.
If I have to do 90 minutes of Dom, I'm out. I am out.
Yeah, I think everybody will be. But yes, maybe this can get them back into the game.
And they're trying to work that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not a professional player. They obviously understand the game far better than I am, or I do. But yeah. I would never go for a neutral and 3-cap in this particular title. I just feel like more often than not, man, it leads to either chaotic spawns or a flip you don't want. Yeah, I know time to time you get the 3-cap or the 2 in a neutral, and if it works, it can put away a game, but it's just tough to do. It's tough to do clean.
Yeah, it sure is. I think, one player just going for the neutral right now. It's going to be Frosty going all the way towards C. We'll see if Dallas can pick it up. It looks like Shotzi knows something's going on. He's trying to fly, has dead silence. Nade's going to be there in Florida just trying to hang on to this lead that they have. And Shotzi, well, he had his knife out. Frosty's got the gun out. He wins that one. They're going to have the 2-cap to close this game. Close this half.
At least I mean, you brought it closer than it could have been. It could have been if you're Empire.
It was like,
but
what, 36?
Yeah. But the problem is now you're spawning C to go into the second half. We'll see what the final lead's going to be. If they can get a tick of this 3-cap, C's going to finish. You should get 1 tick here. So it'll be, what, a 20-point game. So 81 to 61 is where we're going to stand. And 20 is easy, but not easy. I don't want to say 20 is easy, but 20 is a lot better than it could have been. But you can, I mean, you just sort of have to do what Florida did. Like, you need to hopefully get an early flip. I know you can lock down CB, but difficult to do.
And we'll see what they can pull off. Maybe just get CB early on. You know, force Florida get 2-3 down situation. That way you can push through towards A. Right, get that flip right away. We'll see what happens. But for Florida, you spawn on the second side. You got trophies. What does that mean? We are going to try and just get this B-cap as fast as possible, and they do just that.
AB control early, locking down this game. Massive plays in the first half.
Well, here we go.
We'll see if they can close it out, but a chance maybe to push forward for the flip. But I want to go to an Astro Gaming listen in quickly with Florida Mutineers.
Top out right now.
Listen, take your time. How about weak?
We did.
How about weak? He's in peak middle.
Great on me.
How about again? Top out, one shot. After top out. P1, one shot. P1, one shot. And top AC, P1 and one shot.
Push your door. One got me scav. Last guy's pushing me from scav.
Top out, yeah. Top out, yeah. Weak.
Get him to be
Top out. Take your time. I'm pre-aiming to go. One mid. Mid crate.
Mid dead.
Alright, we need to take our time. So we got two. I want you to be, guys. Yeah, we do. They're gonna be the corner. Our side corner. Weak on white.
On white, dead.
Top AC. Top AC, ender weak. Top AC, ender dead. Nice. Stay down. He's milk. Cap that shit.
I'm climbing top AC.
Cap it.
Top cap.
Yeah, watch the way when you spawn.
Gas, one shot. Right corner.
Take your time. We're not gonna be able to get
I'm watching middle.
Holding. I got a smoke down low. B.
Try mid me.
I have middle oil, sir.
Coming bottom L.
Cap. Frame, dead.
Nice.
Top AC, dead. No,
Nice.
Ender. Yo, he's red crate. Red crate. Yo, one's dead. P1, Clay. You want to get down.
Two McCrits. Third door. There's two there. Top AC.
I got AC up.
Third door. I got top cap. Scav.
Top out dead. Good shit. Take your time. CB, don't chop. Wait. Down the barrels. Nice.
Well, we hop to a listen in each time with a team that's basically put into a tough positions. Empire that are able to get a flip. The 20-point lead now is going to be down to 12. They're getting it done, but it's Shotzi once again that's going to push through to try to get this neutral. Let's see if it pays off this time.
Well, everybody's basically dead. He just kind of has to play his life right now. He's going to go for it. He knows he has basically a one-on-one versus Skies. Everyone else is getting the kills. You have Clay backing all the way up. He knows they're spawning half wall.
Yeah.
So the 2 in the neutral should come through. And it's not going to be for long, but a couple of ticks, and that slows down the lead.
That's where it works, right? when you have several down and you have a teammate that backs the whole way up, like that was done perfectly, but it can be a gamble at times. So that was a brilliant opening. Lead change going to come in at the next tick. Now tied up 113-113. What a half from Empire it is. Looking to close it out 3-0, and they are close to getting it done. Who can't quite get away with his life? Desperation mode for Mutineers, but 2 minutes ago, trying so hard to get in, but Shotzzy wants none of it to go down before he falls. Frosty gonna be the last remaining player, but Frosty and Skies, they go massive. They take the head off of Clay and Krim, and that's why you love to have A, because the nade entries that you're able to pick up, Hook's at least able to get through and drop one, but there's the flip onto the B point, but rallying right back in will be Empire. Awakening's awareness not quite enough to snap onto the second. Empire back in.
Yeah, I think, I believe it was Krim who spawned like middle of the map around Smokestack, and that just creates a free pinch for him. So, you know, Lottie said, may the spawns be ever in your favor. It wasn't that time for Florida, as Krim basically just stops that push. Allows them to get back into the lead, now up to 6 points, and Florida, they're just going to have to go. What's so fun to watch is players like Frosty, player like Shotzzy, their ability to stay alive in these situations.
I think I saw like Cap and somebody joking about it. They said Shotzzy has never missed a slide cancel, and they were like joking, like if it was like a Madden rating, he'd have 100. Like, it's so clean, right? Like never misses it. Movement so on point, and you're seeing it here. Didn't even need to get the kill because Sky's Simtex will take him down. Shotzzy, though, is all around, just statistically, we were talking about his ability to slay on the map, has had a very good series for Empire, and a big part of why they're about to close this out in 3-0 fashion. Mutineers do not have the answer. 30 seconds to go, 15-point lead for Empire. They've done it.
And what? I mean, it's sort of like quietly, because a lot of this attention has been on, okay, can Krim and Clay sort of slay with the ARs? What can Shotzzy do? Who continuously has been so consistent for this squad the last couple of home series. He does it here again, 28 and 18. Got to give some love to the nuke.
Absolutely. There's a lot of guys you'll talk about maybe being overshadowed at times by their teammates, being underappreciated. At times it falls to Hoop, but my God. One of those once-a-generation talents, and he is a beast as they get the 3-0 victory. Empire once again able to make a statement over Mutineers. This is a matchup they had struggled with for about a month, but as of late dominated it. Now 3 wins in a row over Mutineers as Empire move on.
It's just it's a great bounce back as well. I mean, to lose 3-0 earlier in the day, I'm sure they had some scrims in, but just to mentally reset yourself, get yourself refocused, it's a nice bounce back. And for Florida, we knew that this was a very tough group. They lose in a game 5, they lose 3-0. I think for Florida, it's you've gotten yourself into a top 4 position for the postseason. Now can you prepare? Can you take advantage of that seed?
Yeah, but it is, you know, I kind of argued the point on contesting the point that I thought it was just an off weekend for Mutineers last weekend, and I thought they would rebound, and they did play better, I think, but they're not the top dog anymore. They're not. I mean, there's no question now. They are not the top team as it currently stands going into champs. But we'll see. Obviously capable of making a run, but I think this sort of cements it that, yeah, they're not. It wasn't just an off event. They're not ahead of the pack anymore. There are just so many talented teams in the CDL.
Well, I mean, really, it's just been Dallas who's been shutting them down, right?
Yes, I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair.
They figured out what mistakes that they made in the past. They improved on that, and it could be the same thing for Florida. Maybe if these two teams match up in the postseason, Florida figured out what they need to do, what map vetoes they need to make going into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think if you're Florida, you probably look at the first match, right? In the winner's side, you go up 2-0. It's a 5-point dom. There's an opportunity there where I'm sure there's a couple of mistakes they fix. They're playing Atlanta FaZe for a spot tomorrow.
To be fair, you're probably in the same spot with the way FaZe was playing. Like, we're probably still looking at this matchup again, more than likely. But let's check out this. Maybe. Let's check out the scuff play of the game now. It's going to be Shotzzy. We were talking about his movement and what a series he had. He drops, 40 plus in the map 1. He's solid here. Had some big play moments mid-map in the search and destroy as well. But yeah, his ability to finesse, to stay alive, to just piss off the other team is very good.
That's why I like maps like Gunrunner, where you can use like green and in bathrooms so well, or Hackney around this B dom area. What we've seen for teams is you have to stay alive. A group of you has to stay alive to defend this site and to even capture it. And I mean, Shotzi's obviously learned that from previous titles he's competed in, but just the way he finesses around this area is just so fun to watch.
Yeah, it really, really is. Well, depends who is watching it, because if you're a Mutineers fan or a player that doesn't have that movement, it's probably not as fun to watch and more frustrating. But yeah, for you and I, it can absolutely be fun to watch. But we have our first semifinal set in stone. That's going to be Ultra versus Empire. FaZe is going to be awaiting the next match. That's going to be Huntsmen going up against OpTic Gaming. And Joe, you and I are going to be doing that one as well. But yeah, this is awesome for a bunch of reasons. And I know the unfortunate stuff that went down for Huntsmen earlier, and frustrated for those guys, but they need to bounce back. And why this is awesome is, well, we know all the stuff historically, right, with Hex leaving OpTic, and now with NRG and Huntsmen and this new brand they're creating, and Scump left as well, and all the history they have with OpTic. So that's been a thing. But why I like this now, and I don't know if it's animosity exactly, but I can assure you that Scump and those guys love the fact that they are going to be the team that can likely shut down OpTic's chances of getting into the top 8 and avoiding losers bracket start at champs. And I just think they have to want to do that.
On the other side, you're also playing like a team of, like, you talk about like Kenny and Slasher. This is a squad that has always given those old OpTic squads a run for their money.
Absolutely.
Right? In a way, like TJ. So it's going to be a good one to watch. It should be a ton of fun. The pressure is there for OpTic. You talk about Hollow and Draza. I mean, listen, I like, in a way, I was talking with Nameless, like, it's just rough for them that they have to join and they have to perform, but then it's like, okay, we run into Florida twice. Then you lose to Toronto, you're able to bounce back for Seattle, and who do you have to play to get out? Like, not who you probably expected. They probably expected to play Toronto again. They have to run into another top 4 team. Can they do it?
Yeah, and I don't think this is the match many of us expected when we were talking about how it was going to go, because we thought OpTic improved a lot. You thought Huntsmen were going to be in form, and obviously their circumstances are a bit ridiculous why they're in this position. But like, Toronto though has looked great. I mean, the snipes that Cammy's been hitting, the plays he's been making, Kleenex has been sensational. We expected him to be solid and couldn't wait for him to be a starting lineup, and now he's there. Like, they've been a fun team to watch over the past month or so, and they've become very, very, very dangerous. But before we get to an interview, and before we get to break, before we get ready for our final match of the night, just want to update you guys on how everything is going down with Challengers, because this is the last home series for the pro side as well, and the postseason is around the corner. So this is how the postseason format is going to work for Challengers, if you're a player, if you're curious to how this is going to play out. But this is going to include a last chance qualifiers event and a finals event. All competitions will take place online in 3 regions. That'll be North America, Europe, and APAC, with a combined prize pool of $500,000. So a lot of money for the up-and-comers, the amateur players that have been battling through the system all year. This is a chance for your payday, Joe.
Yeah, and then of course we're looking at the last chance qualifier, your shot to get in here. For NA, the top 4 Challengers Points team go straight to the finals, but 8 teams getting your rosters figured out. You didn't make it. You have another shot to go for it. The EU, it's 8 teams as well. And APAC, the top 12 teams go straight to the finals event, and 4 more will be joining them later on. But a big chance to win some big cash.
Yeah, and August is just going to be crazy. I mean, you're going to have the LCQ. You're going to have the finals for Challengers. You're going to have, 2 separate weekends of finals for the pro side. Like, August is going to be insane. There's going to be high-level Call of Duty constantly, but this is where it breaks down for the finals. You talked about the auto-qualifying, but the rosters from this event are the teams that are going to be getting in. Top 32 from NA, top 32 from EU, and top 16 APAC teams are going to play in a double elimination bracket for their region, and that's how the prize pools are going to break down to make up the $500,000. And it's actually crazy to think, Joe, because I'm pretty sure when we had the first year of like the CDL back in the day and it was online with Black Ops 3, like that prize breakdown was similar to like the prize breakdown for the whole pro league, like when it broke down between the 3 regions. Remember, I can't remember exactly what it was, but
it was like
it was right around there.
200
and 50 and 100.
150. No,
was it 600? But yeah, it's pretty close though.
Yeah,
and like now that's
crazy.
Now that's for our Challengers finals. Like, it just shows how far it's come with regards to how much money you can actually win. But yeah, no, I hadn't really thought about that, but it was in that ballpark for the pro side of things. So pretty awesome for the Challengers. But now back over to the pro side. Empire get it done. Empire get it done, and now we're going to take a look at how the playoff picture would look if we stop playing right now. Now, we're not. We still have the final match today, and we have CDL Sunday to come, but this is how it plays out right now. Those are your top 4. Huntsmen, I believe, with a chance as they continue to pass Mutineers. OpTic and Ultra a chance to pass Legion and get to the top 8. There's a lot going on.
It's big for Chicago too, right? They lose this, they're not top 2. So this is big for them if they want that extra bye into round 3. You know, one of the teams that you expect in the top 4, can they get to the top 2?
Yeah, we'll see if they can make a run. A lot on the line. We'll try to keep you guys updated with what possible options there are with teams to move as we get closer and closer to wrapping up this home series and getting towards the championship. But we're going to have Lando with Clayster after this quick break.